How long does a divorce take from start to finish in Utah? This is a great question. I get it a lot. Here is the best concise answer I can give you. Most divorce cases settle. Many divorce cases that do settle were settled badly. Some bad settlements are the result of a party running out of money, willpower, or both. That's understandable, but still tragic. I don't have the statistics for how long it takes on average for a divorce case to settle, but it's likely less time than it takes for contested divorces to go to trial. I'm not exactly sure if it actually saves that much time. Probably saves a bit of money. So how long should a contested divorce action take, and how long do contested divorce actions actually take? The Utah Rules of Civil Procedure govern most of the issues of the time it takes for a divorce case from the point of filing the petition for divorce to the issuance of the decree of divorce by the court. Other rules, including those in the Utah Code of Judicial Administration and Utah Code, govern as well. With this in mind, we will review how long a divorce action should take in Utah. Notice I stated should, by reviewing the applicable rules. 1. Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 3. File a petition or complaint for divorce with the court. Whether you prepare your own complaint or petition to file with the court or hire an attorney to represent you and prepare the pleadings for you, let's assume that takes about 4 weeks on average. Subtotal so far, 28 days. Number 2, Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 4. Get the respondent, the opposing party from whom you are seeking a divorce, served with a summons and a copy of the complaint or petition for divorce. The opposing party must be served no later than 120 days after the complaint is filed, unless the court orders a different period of time under Rule 6. If the summons and complaint are not timely served, the action against the unserved respondent may be dismissed without prejudice on the motion of any party or on the court's own initiative. Getting the opposing party served doesn't usually take very long and is often accomplished within just a few days of the filing of the petition or complaint for divorce. But sometimes a spouse cannot be found because he or she disappeared a long time ago, or tries to avoid getting served, which can add weeks or months to the divorce process in trying to track that person down. If, despite the petitioner's due diligence, his or her spouse's whereabouts cannot be determined, or the spouse keeps evading efforts to get him or her personally served, the divorce case isn't thwarted. Knowing that these kinds of situations can and will arise, Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 4D5 was created to permit a motion to be filed by seeking to allow service by some other means. If the motion is granted, the court will order service of the complaint and summons by means reasonably calculated under all the circumstances to apprise the named party of the action. So let's assume it takes 10 days to get your spouse served, but it could take more, it could take less. Subtotal so far, 38 days. Number 3, Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 12. The respondent must serve an answer within 21 days after service of the summons and complaint is complete within the state, and within 30 days after service of summons and complaint is complete outside of the state. The petitioner must serve an answer to a counterclaim in the answer within 21 days after service of the answer. Let's assume that your spouse waits until the last day to serve his or her answer, and let's assume that your spouse files a counterclaim against you, and that you wait until the last day to serve your answer to the counterclaim. So that would be 42 days. Subtotal, 80 days. Number 4, Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 26.1. The parties are required to serve each other with their respective initial disclosures and financial declarations within 14 days after the filing of the first answer to the complaint. Subtotal, 94 days. 5. Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 26. The days to complete standard fact discovery are calculated from the date the first defendant's first disclosure is due and do not include expert discovery under paragraphs 26A4C and D. Days to complete standard fact discovery, 90. Note, it's fairly standard practice for the parties either to agree to extend the discovery period beyond 90 days or for a party to request an order from the court permitting the extension of discovery beyond 90 days. Let's assume that discovery does not close until after 150 days. Subtotal, 244 days. Number 6, Utah Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 16. Unless an order sets the trial date, any party may, and the plaintiff shall, at the close of all discovery, certify to the court that discovery is complete, that any required mediation or other ADR processes, and I'll tell you what those are in just a second, have been completed or excused, and that the case is ready for trial. The court shall schedule the trial as soon as mutually convenient to the court and the parties. The court shall notify parties of the trial date and of any final pretrial conferences. ADR means Alternative Dispute Resolution. Utah Code Section 30-3-39 requires that the parties participate in at least one mediation session before the case can be certified as ready for trial and set for trial. How long does it take to get a trial date after one has certified the case as ready for trial? Currently, as of the date this video is made, about 8 months. Now let's be optimistic and hope that it's less than that, but we'll use 8 months for our purposes. Subtotal, 484 days. Number 7, trial takes place. Trial usually takes 3 to 5 days, but can take as little as half a day or several weeks. We'll use 5 days for our purposes. Subtotal, 489 days. 8, Utah Code 78A-2-223, decisions to be rendered within 2 months. Procedures for decisions not rendered. That provides 1, a trial court shall decide all matters submitted for final determination within 2 months of submission unless circumstances causing the delay are beyond the judge's personal control. The court usually does not take the full 60 to 61 days to decide the case, but I've experienced delays of more than 60 days on several occasions over the course of my career. I would say the court usually issues its decision within 30 to 45 days. So let's use as an average of 30 and 45 days, 38 days. Subtotal, 527 days. So 1 year, 5 months, 10 days. A contested divorce case takes about 1 to 2 years to complete.